Airspace
Any
dispute
aircraft that
erupts as
violates the
Nigeria,
airspace
Sahel
of the
states
Alliance of
clash
all
over
Sahel
detained
states
aircraft
will be
and
neutralized
soldiers.
or
In a
detained.
move that has
The
heightened
sovereignty
tensions
of our
across
states
West
is
Africa, a
non-negotiable.
military
Burkina
transport
Faso's
aircraft from the
actions
Nigerian
towards Nigerian
Airforce,
Air Force are
NAF, and
legitimate
11
and
Nigerian
necessary.
soldiers were
We must
detained on
remain
December
vigilant
8,
against external
2025 in
provocations
Bobo
and attempts at
Dioulasso, Burkina
destabilization.
Faso. The aircraft, a C-130 Hercules, was seized, and its crew held briefly after being accused of entering Burkinabe airspace without clearance. Conflicting narratives, safety precaution versus airspace violation. According to the NAF, the plane made an emergency precautionary landing after the crew identified a technical issue shortly after takeoff from Lagos on a ferry mission to Portugal. The crew claimed they landed at the nearest safe airfield, Bobo Dioulasso, in adherence with international aviation safety protocols. The NAF confirmed that all personnel on board were safe and expressed gratitude to the host authorities. They further stated that plans were underway to resume the mission to Portugal. In stark contrast, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, the bloc comprising Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic, asserted that the aircraft entered Burkinabe airspace without authorization. In an official statement signed by the AES leadership, the incident was condemned as a violation of state sovereignty and described as an unfriendly act carried out in defiance of international law and aviation regulations. AES said that its investigation confirmed the lack of clearance, justifying the plane's seizure and the detention of its occupants. Regional implications: sovereignty, security, and military alliances. The issue strikes at the heart of regional security and sovereignty, particularly given the fractured political alignment in West Africa. The AES was formed after its member states withdrew from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, following successive coups in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Since then, the bloc has sought to assert its independence and control over its airspace. In response to the incident, AES declared that its air and anti-air defense systems have been placed on maximum alert. The Confederation warned that any future unauthorized aircraft entry would be met with force. Observers note that the seizure of a Nigerian military aircraft, given Nigeria's size and influence in West Africa, signals a bold posture by AES. The episode comes at a politically sensitive time, just days after Nigeria's involvement in an operation to counter a failed coup attempt in the neighboring Benin Republic. Some analysts suggest AES may be using the incident to signal disapproval of Nigeria's perceived interventionism in regional affairs. Release of personnel, but unclear status of aircraft. Following initial detention and questioning, Burkina Faso announced that the 11 Nigerian military officers had been released and allowed to return home. The country's Minister of Territorial Administration described the landing as a violation of national procedures and stated that their security agencies had intervened accordingly. However, the fate of the C-130 aircraft remains uncertain. NAF maintains that the landing was justified and insists it followed standard safety protocols. In its public statement, the Air Force reaffirmed its commitment to operational rules and safety and reasserted its intention to resume the flight to Portugal. What the dispute reveals between aviation protocols and geopolitics. Under international aviation rules, including provisions of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, all aircraft, including military ones, are required to obtain permission before entering sovereign airspace. AES, in its statement, invoked these rules to justify the seizure and described the unauthorized entry as a serious breach. From Nigeria's perspective, the need for a safe landing due to technical issues could relieve them of culpability under emergency landing provisions recognized in aviation law. That said, AES's strong reaction, including warning to neutralize future unauthorized flights, indicates a shift toward more assertive control over its airspace, even against larger regional powers. In sum, the incident captures more than a simple technical diversion. It reflects deepening rifts in West Africa's security architecture. As military-ruled Sahel states distance themselves from ECOWAS, they are asserting new norms and demanding respect for sovereignty even from powerful neighbors like Nigeria.